Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Kathryn Lanier, our guest commencement speaker.
President Marrero, distinguished faculty, parents, family, and friends, and to the class of 2023, thank you for this privilege. I am honored and I am grateful to be here today. I am also incredibly surprised to be here. When I think of great commencement speeches, and I've been thinking of them a lot lately, I think about those delivered by the Steve Jobs and the Oprah Winfreys of the world. They're delivered by people who have conquered empires, overcome impossible odds, and have reached the pinnacle of their careers. They're delivered by those who have been resilient in the face of tragedy, endured unimaginable hardship, and led others through difficult times with hope and inspiration. They're the stories of the single-minded who have achieved extraordinary things. I am not one of those people. My name isn't on billboards or etched onto towering buildings. I'm not a titan of industry, nor do I grace the cover of glossy magazines. My life story isn't one of soul-crushing struggles, acts of heroism, or fearless feats. I haven't slayed dragons or saved the world yet, and I've never been diagnosed with anything more than seasonal allergies. I'm just an average 32-year-old with a job that I love, a one-car garage, and a really cute dog. But I am also one of you. I sat in the very chairs that you sit. I got my fair share of parking tickets, walked around Sweetheart Circle with my first love, and slept through those 8 a.m. classes. I pulled all-nighters cramming for Dr. McGivney's biochem exams. I've prayed to fall on the right side of the curve and then lied to my parents when I didn't. I've rushed this very field after a big win and cursed the refs when we lost. And I think that's why I'm here today, because I understand what it feels like to be in your shoes, especially the graduates who opted for heels over flats. But I am also here today because I belong here. I belong in this space. In the early years of my career, I found myself in a space where I didn't feel like I belonged. A room filled with elected officials, CEOs, and influential leaders I'd admired for so long. A crimson room at the Capitol with soaring ceilings and crystal chandeliers. The air dense with prestige and influence. But there I stood, surrounded by suits worn by men and women at least 2 decades my elder. There I stood, feeling like I had accidentally waded into the deep end of the swimming pool. How could a 20-something-year-old have words worth listening to, ideas worthy of sharing? How could an ordinary girl from Warner Robins, Georgia, lead a group of the powerful? I was afraid of being seen as just a kid, afraid that my inexperience would show up in every word that I spoke, every move that I made. But that was also the day I learned a critical lesson that has shaped the way I view myself and my place in this world. Dr. Neil Lamb, the chair of the council, someone I only knew by reputation at the time, walked up to me and said, "Kathryn, you belong here. You belong in this space." Those 3 words, you belong here. They are simple, but profound words. I need some water. And since that day, I've carried those words with me as a reminder that I belong wherever I choose to be, in whatever setting I find myself. And I've come to realize that belonging is more than, or is not about conforming to a certain standard or fitting into a specific box. It's about recognizing that we all have something unique and valuable to offer, and that our differences are what make us stronger and more resilient, as a society. Belonging is a powerful force. It gives us a feeling of connection, a sense of purpose, and the confidence and courage to make a difference. When we feel like we belong, we're more likely to take risks, to speak up, to raise our hand, and to challenge the status quo. And as I've grown older, I've come to realize that belonging is more than just getting a seat at the table. It's about creating spaces for others to join you. It's also about recognizing the responsibilities that come with being part of something bigger. Our country, our world needs us to roll up our sleeves and work together, now more than ever. Whether that means fighting for justice, confronting inequality, or giving back to our communities. Our journeys are not meant to be solitary ones. We often bog down in our own sense of belonging, our own progress and achievement. But when we create space for others to rise, we build relationships, trust, and power. Making room for others is not a matter of generosity. It's a matter of necessity, and it's a matter of courage. It takes bravery to step aside and allow others to shine. But when we do, we unleash movements that change the course of human history, and movements that are sustainable and legendary. Today is a special day, a new chapter in your journey of what's to come. But it's more than just a journey to belonging. It's the determination of where you will belong, a declaration of what you will stand for and what you refuse to compromise. Today marks your first day in the real world, and it's time to start making some decisions. And by decisions, I don't mean which job offer to take, or what color tie you should wear for your big interview, or whether to swipe right or left. I'm talking about the big stuff. I'm talking about what kind of life you want to live, what kind of person you want to be, and how you're going to get there. I'm talking about what it means to live a life of purpose and how you're going to find it. I'm talking about what happens when you realize that your life is more than just a paycheck, and it's time to start living with intention. I'm talking about how you will stand in a world so divided, a world riddled with uncertainty and fear. You see, I may only be 32, but what I do know is this: the world is not always kind. Life is not always fair, and it's not always predictable. But that's what makes it beautiful: the chaos, the curveballs, the unknown, the missteps and failures. For it is in those trying moments when opportunity is born. Y'all, it is so easy to get caught up in the idea that success is measured by the amount of money in your bank account or the number of accolades on your resume. But true success is measured by the impacts you have on your communities, the positive change you shepherd into this world, and the way that you make people feel. So choose kindness, choose empathy and compassion. Choose to be a force for good in this world. And when the world knocks you down, and it will, choose to get back up and keep fighting. Keep fighting for yourself and for the next of us. And when you make it to the top of the mountain, or only partway up, choose to be grateful. Choose to remember those who supported you along the way and made space for you at the table. Thank them. It is so important that we recognize the debt of gratitude that we owe to those who have invested in us, and that we pay it forward by investing in others. So go forth with confidence, with courage, and with a deep sense of purpose. And as you move forward from this moment, if nothing else, I hope you remember those 3 words: you belong here. Not just at Georgia Southern, but in the world, in whatever space you find yourself. Congratulations, class of 2023, and on eagle's wings, you will soar.